Big deep breath.
Yeah.
Here we go.
And back again.
For those of you kind of wondering who kind of financed the series 2 for us, let us have a series 2. It was us ourselves.
Yeah.
It was kind of we're self-financing.
Yeah,
It's an expensive hobby at the minute.
It is.
So
But a worthwhile one.
A worthwhile one. But anyone looking to sponsor, we are all ears. We're all ears.
No, we're looking. We'd love to get people on board, like-minded people who see the vision that we see and see the kind of the information we've put out to people and the guests we have on, and hopefully want to be on board with us.
Yeah. So that's us. We're back.
Yeah.
And I think I speak for both of us here when I say I'm really happy to be back.
Yeah.
And I was just saying off air that I'm really excited to catch up with my mate again for an hour and a half and to record it, and for it to hopefully kind of help others along the way somewhere as well. So series 2 for us is not different to series 1 in terms of we're in a new space, which we're really, really happy with.
It's looking good.
It is here with Carl at Pod Space, which is fab. We have we've gone up in the world with our shirts around us.
Yeah, we've got them out there.
We're gonna kind of have a bit of a rotation with them. We're gonna rotate the squad. That's what we're planning on doing. Yeah. Hopefully, some of the people coming on are gonna bring their own shirts and stuff again. But series 2 is we'd like people to share their stories again, but we'd said about it being more solution based. We want to be sat here having this conversation. We're really well aware because we're doing that weekly. You have to be in a really strong place to be telling your story to others, to however many others want to listen. And that's a very vulnerable space, but also a very, 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 very strong one. So what gave you the strength to be here? What's got you to this position as well? So it won't just be about sad stories or challenging stories or things that shock you. I want it to be about
guidance.
A lot more solutions and guidance.
Yeah, I think we've had people, I think, reach out, haven't we, and just kind of like said they love the stories and all the guests we've had on and stuff, but how did they do it?
Yeah,
they want to know the how. I think everyone has a great reception to what they've heard, but I think everyone wants to know how. How did they get from their lowest point to thriving? And I think that's what we want to provide more of.
I'm going to kind of interject there a little bit. I'm going to find a text and just keep yourselves relatively busy while I do so. But I'm going to find a message from a listener, a friend, a client, a father of a young player who I've been working in the gym, who asked me off the back of something we had said in the previous series. And I was going to try and shoehorn this into later in the episode, but you'd kind of just perfectly allowed me to kind of shoehorn it in here now. And this came in May. I found it quite quick, actually. Quite impressed with myself there. That could have been some awkward silence. So this is a friend of mine called Pete, and I'm going to read out what he said. And then this has kind of inspired us a lot for this in this next series. So, mate, just finished the Aaron McLean episode. Best one so far. I really resonated with him. He seems like a top guy. I've genuinely enjoyed all the episodes, but I've got to say I've been blown away by both you and Craig. The courage you've shown in sharing your stories is nothing short of inspiring. It's a powerful reminder that you never really know what someone's carrying behind the scenes. I have so much respect for the strength you've both shown, not just in getting through it, but in standing tall and sending the elevator back down to bring others up. That's an amazing analogy,
great.
That, isn't it? I don't think I fully picked up on that the first time. Sending the elevator back down to bring others back up. Brilliant. That takes a special kind of strength. If I may be so bold, I wanted to offer a small thought. I've listened to a lot of these kinds of podcasts, and while they're filled with powerful stories of people hitting rock bottom and finding their way back, I've noticed a recurring theme. People often talk about the importance of speaking up, but rarely about how they actually found the courage to do it. Especially for men. It seems like there's often a huge gap between knowing we should talk and actually figuring out how to do it. Who to go to, how to open up, or even just how to recognize it's time to say something. I'd be really interested to hear more about that part. Not just the moment of rock bottom, but the turning point. What or who helped you or your guests make the first move? Why did you trust that person? Why did it feel like the right time? I totally get that you're not trying to tell people what to do, and that's what makes the podcast so powerful. But exploring the first step a bit more might really help some listeners who are still stuck in their silence, not knowing how to begin. I hope that makes sense. And thanks again for everything you're doing. It makes a difference.
It's such a beautiful message, isn't it?
I haven't read that for a little while.
Yeah.
And in reading it again, there's even more beauty in it than I imagined. So, I mean, it's quite a tall ask to answer everything in that. Yeah. But I hope in this next series we can kind of at least make a dent in it for some people.
Yeah, I think it's just that guidance, is seeing what these people did. Just like a small bit of a blueprint. The things they might say might not work for that person, but it gives them something to focus on, to work to. Mm-hmm. Like for me, there was lots of things that happened when I was trying to find my way back. It was just trying lots of different things to find out what stuck, and then eventually it does. And obviously the guests that will come on, they'll have their own version of what they did, and hopefully the people listening can start to implement those, see what works, and hopefully they find the things that do work for them that will take them to where they need to be.
Yeah, I'm quiet for once. Yeah, reflecting even on that there then, and even how I would answer that. And like I said, it's going to be a tall order gathering that information. But I think through the variety of guests and having our own conversations, and we're going to look to answer as much of that as possible. I think kind of in every episode we're going to do over this next series.
Yeah, and I think to have messages like that, it's amazing because it opens our eyes even more to what can be done and how we can help. And these are people that are listening and obviously have inquiries and questions themselves. So people reaching out is wonderful, because then it gives us opportunity to sit down, think ourselves how much more we can offer and what we can do to keep helping people strive to find themselves.
Absolutely, and what this series is going to bring is more variety in that we're not just going to be talking to people kind of in and around football, although there's going to be a lot of that as well. We're going to have people, kind of former players, current players, people from governing bodies coming on this series, but also we're going to have people from kind of television, film in one case, and fashion and different elements. And we're going to kind of try and explore everything that society requires of being a man at the moment, and how not only we can kind of be better men for each other, but for the world around us. And we're going to look at all avenues. And that's not, the premise of this podcast is always to kind of improve and to highlight kind of men's mental health and processes and solutions and stories that can help that. But that may look like actually as well looking at kind of feminine elements of society as well, and how we can work harmoniously. Like we were talking recently about the women's game and kind of the impact men are having on that and the impact that's coming the other way. And we had our own opinions on that. We won't go into right now, but that's going to be a really important conversation. So I want this, there is much like us forever. There's no real rules. There's no structure. There's no real plan. Yeah. But we got good people. I think we got good hearts.
Yeah. 100%.
And what we showed in that first series was that sometimes our words are effective as well. Well, we hope we hope to have it. And it may have had a small impact so far, but we're looking for that to grow beyond that now. And that comes from like questions like that from listeners and feedback and things like that. So as much of that from the listener as possible, if we're to task them with anything as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, cool. So today we wanted to kind of check in with each other, right? And to talk about, although summer's not over, it's a very hot day today. Whenever you're listening to this, it's heat wave day today.
Sorry,
hence the shorts, we wanted to use today as like an update on us.
Yeah, like a check-in, I think. Yeah. To see where we're at, how we're doing. It's been a few weeks since we kind of finished the first season, and we've obviously been doing our own stuff.
Now, it's been a few months. It's been a little bit longer than you thought. Yeah.
So obviously we're just checking in, see how each doing, see where we are.
Yeah.
We let everyone know how we're doing, and obviously explain what we've been doing and what's going on. And
it's been a busy summer for both of us. Outside of the podcast, obviously most people will know. For those that don't, we run separate businesses in coaching, in sport, both kind of physical and mental. And pre-season for us is a very, very busy time. Like in football in terms of when you're looking at strength and conditioning, coaching. Obviously, you do some strength and conditioning work as well as we both do some of the psychological stuff. It's been busy, right? Like it's probably been my busiest preseason ever, and that's come with its own challenges, managing expectations, both my own and my clients and things like that, but also trying to find the time to fit it all in. And
do you think people are getting more aware of what they're doing now? Like, do you think if you notice it's like more and more people are doing the extra bits over the summer and looking at the mentality side and looking at different avenues rather than, I think for me it was kind of like you did look at strength and conditioning, but now I feel like people are looking for mentoring sessions, people are looking for that little extra bit of advice rather than kind of just you can not do that now, you have to do it.
Yeah. And people are very quick to blame social media for a lot. And that's one of the real positives is in terms of when you can see people like to showcase their hard work. It's not always true, but like there is that feeling of, oh, I better get that work in. I better go. So it's I definitely have seen an uprise in people wanting to come in for a preseason and things like that. And actually some of the challenges I faced during that time was allowing people time to rest and saying, when the season finishes, you don't have to come straight back in.
Yeah.
Like mentally take some rest, physically take some rest, and then we'll get to work. And also understanding something that a former guest and friend of ours, JB, once said, that you don't want to be knackered by Christmas.
Yeah.
So kind of managing that workload to get them going back feeling great, but not overworked, because the guys we're working with are going to spend the next, 10, 11 months playing again before they get 1 month off.
Yeah.
And we're trying to utilize the physical work we both do with the mental stuff we both do and create an environment where they can flourish, but not.
I mean, it's the hardest thing though, is that I think for players now, because you said social media, them watching other players doing loads of extra work and thinking I'm falling behind because I'm not doing it. But I think sometimes you can do too much. And I always try and say, like I've been trying to say to the players and stuff, is like, build into it. Preseason isn't the case of being the fittest you can possibly be. It's a case of actually being like fit through preseason. By the time you get to the beginning of the season, you're 90%. By the time you hit Christmas, you're 100%, and you're going to maintain from that point, and the rest of them will drop off. So I just find like sometimes I feel like there is that kind of work, and as you said, the key probably is recovery and making it structured. So it's trying to kind of curb those the social media ideals of just smashing it out and just doing it. It's trying to find that balance. How have you done that? Have you balanced them out, as you said, with the recovery?
I think one of the reasons I find it really, really hard is for so many years I did it so wrong.
Yeah,
it's kind of do as I say, not as I do, really, isn't it? Because we both know in pre-seasons in years gone by, I've overworked and over-pressurized myself and over-challenged myself and felt the need to get so much fitted in that by the time the season came, I might have been injured or tired.
Yeah.
So it's been But I suppose why we do what we do is to help others benefit from the mistakes we made. And hopefully some of them listen.
Yeah. No, I agree. I've done a good bit of mentoring this summer.
Good.
Which has been really interesting, like working more on the mental side of it and expectations and kind of like looking at why people do stuff and what affects them and why it affects them, and that's been really interesting because I think we look at the physical so much, and I think the obviously we're doing the podcast with mental health and stuff like that. I think the mental is really important for footballers, and I think when you can nail that down, I think that sometimes alleviates mental health, like alleviates those pressures you put on yourself within the game if you can get that right. So it's been really interesting to work with a few players and just guide them in that direction, because it's not for me to tell them what to do. I'm just there to hopefully get them to work it out by what I'm kind of saying to them.
Genuinely, and I'm asking you this probably for the first time.
Okay.
Like I haven't placed this question.
Yeah.
Tell me a bit more about that. How does that sort of session look? So say you're working with a forward.
Yeah.
And because you do the physical bits on the pitch, you do all the finishing stuff, and that's brilliant. The mentoring session, when it comes to that, what sort of stuff are you going through with them? What are you talking about?
So I like to sort of find out for them what their strengths and weaknesses are. It's interesting to see what they think about themselves.
Yeah.
And then I know a bit about them. I've worked with them. I've watched videotapes on them, so I can see what I see in them. So then it's kind of making them look at themselves a bit differently. Not telling them the answers, but just to say, maybe look at this differently, maybe look at this video and see what you think here, and just giving them a different perspective on themselves, because we all have a perspective of ourselves.
Yeah.
We all see ourselves in a certain light, but then when you get around other people, everyone sees a different version of you. So it's just giving them that thinking of like there's more to them, and there's the reasons these are not quite going the way they want them to go is because of some things that they can't actually control. A lot of them I find they get really upset because they maybe haven't scored. But I was telling them there's 10 other people on your team, there's 11 other people on the other team trying to stop you to score. You can't do it yourself. So it's just giving them different things to think about, understanding why they're doing it, why they want to score so many goals, why they put the stress on and the strain, why they have all these kind of expectations, and how they feel if they don't get those expectations. How does that kind of relate to their worthiness, or how they kind of see their self-image from these things. So just trying to almost give them a different perspective of who they are, and what actually football means, and what they actually mean like in the world without football. So just giving them different perspectives, and just trying to make it how I felt like I put all my worth into football, and my worth was based on goals and playing well and doing good.
Validation.
Which I think 90% of the world probably do.
Tell me someone who doesn't like having thousands of people cheering them when they've scored. Like, it's an amazing feeling. Yeah,
but you can't put your self-worth on it, because when that goes, it's not going so well. It's you have to be more than that, and you are more than that. And that's trying to maybe give them that explanation. They are more than just scoring goals. They are more than just a footballer. They like give them that purpose, that self-worth.
Yeah. I'm listening to you talk about that, and I know you're talking to yourself.
yeah.
Which is brilliant.
No, that's the journey I've been on, and I still go on. Like, there's still obviously moving into the new aspects of coaching, and I bet you have this as well. All the stuff you move into, you still have that self-worth, you still have that kind of validation thing, and you have to kind of just retrain yourself and realise it's a role you're putting.
100%. It just slight, not subject change, but on that point, subject change. That's how your partner and my friend Amber, who sat across there, likes to kind of interject sometimes. Subject change. So no, I'm listening to that, and there we're intrigued because not just from football, this is life. Like, but I think a lot of footballers, young men, will kind of resonate with what I'm about to say. I am maybe bred by the culture, but also by being a young man in today's society. I'm so sensitive to not just validation and accolade, but more so criticism. And I had a really amazing conversation with my mum the other day. I'm going to come on to this in a minute. I've had a real kind of, my relationship with my own mother has really, not that it was in a bad place, but I've had there's been a few things that have happened over this summer, since the time I've been away, where it's really brought me and my mum closer together, and it's been amazing. And one of the things we talked about the other day, she'd been looking into, she's a nurse of many years, and had been looking more into the complexity of me. And I think she always felt that my bipolar diagnosis was a little bit, I don't think she ever fully agreed.
Yeah.
And she did a bit of research into something I want to raise awareness of called RSD. Now, I'm going to just get this up on my phone just for a second, just because I want to make sure I give it the right, give it the exact title that it is. It's because it's very new to me. And I did a lot of reading on it. So it's Rejection Sensitivity Dysphoria, a condition characterized by intense emotional pain triggered by perceived or actual rejection, criticism, or failure, strongly associated with ADHD, and is not officially a standalone diagnosis, but is widely acknowledged by clinicians as experience suffered by many with ADHD. And I read it, and she'd obviously read it and sent it to me, and I'd never felt so seen and so heard.
Yeah.
Not in a sad way, in a really lovely way, in terms of, ever since I was a young child, people's opinions and words mattered to me beyond the norm.
Yeah.
Like, I would hear some people or see some people hear some criticism, maybe some positive stuff, and be able to just never too high, never too low sort of thing. you could tell me I look tired today and I will think about it for a week.
Yeah.
And book myself into a spa and put some ice under my eyes and try and go to bed early that night. And it would really, it would affect me. And it's something that you might just be saying with care, going, I'm a bit tired today, mate.
Yeah.
And I would receive that in the wrong way. In the same sense, I could do something good and someone would pat me on the back or say you look nice or that was a good goal or well done on that thing. And I felt like I was walking on water. I feel $1 million. And that in itself wasn't healthy in the sense of it was these highs and lows that kind of probably led to a couple of other things, led to that bipolar diagnosis, especially when I was really unwell. But this RSD, this heavy link with ADHD, which so many people can resonate with anyway, I found really, really intriguing and interesting, but also validating in itself that I was like, oh.
Did it feel good to have something to like read and say this is me? Yeah.
And it also has you're so sensitive to criticism, you're so sensitive to people's words and opinions and things, but it can be really challenging in a professional sense, in the sense of with the podcast, with the gym, with the things. I have and definitely with football, and this is where I think players and other men may resonate. I felt a real fear of failure, a real fear of not being good enough, a real fear of what people would say that has definitely held me back in some ways.
Yeah, I can resonate.
Even in those moments where, especially when it's been going well, my fear would be really difficult then. I'd be in my states of most fear at the point of most success. I felt uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And in that moment, some people may push on.
Yeah.
So with my business at the minute, I feel like the gym's going great. The pod I love so much, and I feel like we have so much potential. And my partner, who is, in terms of business acumen and drive, she's incredible. Holly will be saying to me, like, right, now's the time to kick on, strike while the iron. So with that, they'll say, got like website, more this, more content, more. And I draw back.
Yeah.
And I've never understood why.
Yeah.
I've been like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And we'll sometimes even get angry at her and challenge her back and be like, oh, well, do you not think I'm good enough right now?
Yeah.
What's right? Like, and it's
like something's pulling you. So it's like a deep something deep in you, but you can't actually explain what it is. But you can feel it's like heavy.
Yeah,
and it's like it weighs you down, and you just can't seem to shift it.
And it's like with anything in life, it can be beautiful as well as it can be challenging. And when you learn about it, when you understand it more, which is why by understanding it and by talking about it, hopefully we can harness the power that it involves. It gives you an incredible sense of humility and compassion and consideration and kindness and care and drive. It gives me all of those things. But it also, if I don't manage it, can stop me being the person I want to be.
Yeah.
And
so what have you implemented then? Now you've found this out, what have you implemented anything into your day, into your thoughts, into journaling, to now see where the highs are, where the lows are, how to...
I think more, and when she told me, I remember going, Mom, I don't need another label. Like I'm done with labels now. I'm good.
Yeah.
Life's good. I'm good.
Yeah.
Don't come at me with another label. But then she told me, I went, oh no, this is the best one yet. It was, what have I done? I've given myself a break. I've given myself a bit of peace, and I've allowed myself to be a bit braver. So in that moment where it does feel uncomfortable and I do feel a bit scared, I go, oh, I might be experiencing this differently to someone else.
Yeah.
And maybe I can benefit from listening to someone or taking that next step, even though it is scary. Or maybe when I've had an argument with Holly, like every couple does, she may say something that it's just a throwaway comment, like in the heat of an argument that she may not mean or whatever else. I don't have to immediately take it to heart and base my whole life on that current emotion. It's and I haven't done enough research and reading on it yet to kind of be an expert or to kind of tell people what to do, but it's definitely worth looking into for some people. If you're someone who suffers with ADHD and are finding yourself very sensitive, or not even if you're not suffering with ADHD, you find yourself really sensitive to those things or blocked, I think it's something worth looking into. And yeah, something so again, that solution thing. Have I really dialed in on it yet? No, I haven't. But it has made me pause in moments and reflect and go, okay, how can I deal with this differently? Being aware of what I know there.
Yeah. Which is growth.
Yeah. But I wouldn't, the reason I'm saying it is I haven't got the data to hand.
Yeah.
But what I have is my experiences.
Yeah, yeah.
How many men in football do you know with ADHD symptoms? How many? Fucking 90%.
Yeah. Yeah.
Genuinely.
Yeah, yeah.
It can make you brilliant, it can be challenging. So with that in line, and I know so many young lads who football's an outlet for them.
Yeah.
Right. And so I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot of other people suffering with that experience, and not knowing what to deal with it.
Yeah.
I mean, we've sat with players in here who talk about how often do we hear feedback from managers being a fuel, which is great, but also being something they've held on to for a very long time. An opinion from a father, an opinion from a friend. Football is going to have a lot of opinions, and we've got a lot of young men out there who...
We had Laurie on, and what his teacher said to him, and that stayed with him for up until his career, and to the point he's now started overcoming it. But that's a comment made to a child that's
100%
affected him throughout his life.
And I think there's going to be a lot of people that feel very similarly about that. And that was something that only happened recently with my mum that made me want to talk about that. On the flip side, I had another experience with her where that's how I kind of started my summer. She sent me a book, and the book, it was the Book of Delights. I can't remember the author's name, which is terrible, but it's called The Book of Delights. And essentially the early premise of it is that he decided to write an essay a day about a delight that he saw. So I think he found himself, like many of us do, kind of seeing the world in a negative light, which you can very easily do, because we are force-fed information that is negativity in abundance. And I think he made a decision to write about the things that, however small, would be the delightful in the day, and to write a small essay about it. And it was kind of 365 essays over a year, from his birthday to his birthday, about something happy or something nice, a delight. And my mum wrote in the preface, she wrote, "To a man so very good at seeing the delights, this book's for you," sort of thing. And like with many things that I do with ADHD, I read the first 5 pages and think I know everything about it anyway, and I still haven't even finished it. But I have read a lot of it. I haven't, but I haven't done, I'm going to be honest, I haven't finished it, which I know a lot of people can resonate with. But the idea of this book is that you find the delight in every day. And he said, to begin with, he was like, it's a big ask. I'm going to have to try and find something good every day to write about. And he said, I think it started quite small. He saw a flower appearing through a concrete crack, a really beautiful flower. And he was like he kind of talked about the artistic value of seeing beauty coming out of the concrete and how bright it was. And then he said very quickly, in the first few days of doing it, the delights were screaming at him. In all that he was and all that he did, he was like, they were all asking to be written about, all asking to be the feature of that day. And he started looking at the world in a very, very different way. And I have the ability to do that. But I also have the ability to go the other way. And there hasn't been things in between for me. I'm learning balance. But I chose really, really, really seriously to kind of take that with me over the last few months. And I'm seeing the delights like never before. Oh my God. And the world is such a beautiful place if you choose to look at it that way. Now, circumstances, society, where you're born, lots of things that are happening in your life can make that a lot harder. I'm aware that you can't, certain people won't be able to wake up and go, oh, I'm going to choose to see the delights today, because they may be in a really difficult situation and they might not be able to. But I have found this ability to today and every day since reading that, to see beauty in even the smallest of things. And my overall sense of well-being has skyrocketed. because there is so much beauty to be had in kind of the conversations you have, the people you see. Like, I mean, even Clarkson's Farm taught me to appreciate the rain for the farmers.
Yeah.
I don't even get angry at tractors on the road anymore. But of course, it could be in a wildflower, but it's in conversations, it's in interactions, it's in the smiles in the shop, it's in the change in the weather. There's so much simplicity. It's in putting a smile on someone else's face. And they often, what this brings me back to is finding time to be present in every day.
Yeah, which is tough.
So looking for a small delight, the smell of a coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
Like that extra 5 minutes in bed, like that's a delight.
Yeah.
I didn't notice it before.
Yeah.
I didn't notice it, but it's there.
We see the delight as a big thing though. We see everything if it's got to be good, it's got to be big.
It needs to be a goal in front of thousands of people.
Yeah, it needs to be something huge rather than, you said, the smallest thing in your day is a delight.
And I think in turn, by doing that, you liberate others to do the same as well. And I'm happy to be a weirdo, so I've been telling people about I will stop them and say, this is a delight right now.
Yeah, but you're getting people to think in a different way.
Yeah.
You're getting them to look at you class it maybe as a mundane, the things you see every day.
Yeah.
But they are a delight. They are like these special things that you see, and you're an example. You're living within your authenticity. You're being you, seeing those delights, and you're passing that beauty onto others, which will then allow them to look at the world differently, and then it's a snowball, it's a domino.
And it's so. I don't want to get too fluffy with it because people are obviously having. It doesn't mean you can't have bad days and experience them as they come, but there is beauty in every single day if you want to go and look for it, and there is somewhat of a choice in that. And choice has been something that I've thought about a lot this summer as well. Like a really particular. This one was kind of smack in the face, delightful. I was at my my eldest sister's wedding, and she got married in Norfolk earlier this summer. Not to be confused with my other sister who got married last week as well.
Okay.
This was 2 of 4 got married this summer, and ironically, the pub we stayed in Norfolk was in the hometown or home village of Charlie Maxey, who, for those that don't know, wrote the book The Boy, the Fox, the Horse, the Mole, the illustrations. I've got them tattooed on me, many framed in my gym.
Yeah.
He wrote Choose Love on the front of the pub we were all staying in, which, I mean, even just seeing your sister get married in a beautiful Norfolk pub with the words Choose Love on it is magic enough, right? But what happened over this weekend, and we spoke a little bit about this after it happened, but I really thought about it since, was there were situations there that could have been really challenging and really difficult. And if you wanted to look at it in a dramatic, sad, negative way, you could have done. So I was sat next to my ex-wife in the church. My dad walked my sister down the aisle with my stepdad, both hand in hand. And I mean, the kind of the obviousness of how that could be really awkward, really awkward or really, really challenging is there.
Yeah.
But everyone chose love.
Yeah.
Like the experience was not diminished by those things. It was enhanced by those things because we chose kindness, we chose love, we chose compassion, we chose consideration. And the experience was better as a result of those things. So if you think about families and different things like that, and you think about having, 2 dads walking them down the aisle, and would that be difficult? And then my ex-wife being there with my current partner, and that being still relatively new in the grand scheme of things. And every single individual person in that situation had to choose love, to choose positivity over kindness, kind of choose compassion over kind of argumentative behavior. And we had 3 days there, and honestly, by the end of it, we were all so close. And it was the dysfunctionality that made it better. And I kind of sat back over that weekend and in the aftermath of it, and I thought, wow, when people choose love, like I said in the thing, not only do you allow for situations to not be a negative one, you actually allow them to be even more positive than you ever imagined.
Yeah.
And that was not like a turning point or anything like that. I kind of already knew that experience would be okay because everyone's a good person, right? That I'm kind of spend time with there, but the enormity of how beautiful it became as a result of those choices was amazing for me.
And like you said, you have that decision to make choices. We all have those decisions. How to look at life, the beauty of the flower, the beauty of the wedding, and we all have choices, and we can decide. No matter what a situation is in life, we can choose to look at it negatively, or we can choose to look at it positively. And obviously, that day, everyone chose love.
Yeah,
and it was a beautiful moment.
It's yeah, and I've been choosing love all summer, mate.
Yeah,
I have, and I think I've had this increasing. I spent most of my 20s. I'm not going to go into it too much because we spoke about it on here before. I spent most of my 20s not wanting to be here. I'm now 33, and
looking well as well.
Yeah. I just said I'm going to receive that differently to someone else. Now I feel $1 million. No, the preciousness of life has dawned on me a little bit more. Not that I'm old. I don't think that in any way. But I mean more like I'm becoming increasingly aware of just like how precious life is. And I was listening to another podcast. With Jimmy Carr, who I'm not necessarily overly not a fan or whatever, a fan as a comedian, but as kind of a philosopher or whatever. Like I think he's a very intelligent, very articulate man, and he said some things I listened to on a podcast recently that really resonated with me about this preciousness of life, and he talks very much about life not being about the acquisition and being the journey, which is not kind of it's not anything we haven't heard before.
Yeah.
However, I just found this in the beauty in finding those delights, the beauty in the smaller things. And football is so representative of this. When we achieve X, and that could be a trophy, an amount of goals, an amount of assists, an amount of clean sheets, whatever else, the goalposts tend to change. We're never that happy with the actual acquisition of the thing we wanted.
Yeah.
Because we always want more.
Yeah.
He talks about once he played a pub, he wanted to play a bar, then he played a bar, played a stadium or an arena, then it was a stadium, then it was a Netflix series, then it was series 2, then it was an award, and then it was so he was like, it just constantly changed.
A never-ending journey.
A never-ending, which, okay, strive. This is, none of what I'm saying is about not striving for success.
Yeah.
But it's finding the joy in the journey and understanding that it was the journey rather than the acquisition was always going to be the best bit.
Yeah.
Was always going to be the best bit. And he later goes on to talk about this analogy that I really resonated, and I know in the industry we're in is really interesting, and kind of current society is really interesting. He talked about, it's going to sound like I'm going off topic here, but I'm not. A rise in suicide in gastric band patients. And essentially what they'd seen, this was years ago, was that people after gastric band surgery, there was a dramatic increase in suicide rates in those said people in that said demographic, right? And partly that may have been due to the fact that they may have used food as a coping mechanism, and once you take out the ability to eat that food, you can't cope, you're sitting with your emotions. Yeah. But also more so, and this is going to come on to where we're at in society today, the idea of that when I've lost weight, I will be happy. When I achieve the X, I will be happy. When you undo the reality of the hard work, and some people can't, so again, I don't want to offend anyone, but when you undo the journey part, the discipline with the healthy eating, the getting up and training, the exploring what your capacity of what you can do, challenging yourself, working harder, slowly chipping away at the goal and getting to the goal. When you get to the goal too quickly based on that surgical procedure, you missed out on the best bit.
Yeah.
And I was talking actually to my therapist about this recently. Shout out to Charlotte if she's ever listening. She went on ITV this morning, Good Morning Britain, whatever one of those things are, and she talks about an identity crisis in Ozempic and the other weight loss, diabetes weight loss drugs at the moment. Now, for some people, they are miracle drugs, don't get me wrong, and I'm sure that they have a place. But she's seeing an impact in the identity crisis of people on those drugs. Again, because dramatic weight loss, getting to them to the point they thought they wanted to be at really, really quickly, but missing the journey.
Yeah, in the inner work.
Missing the work that made you feel good.
Yeah.
So, number one, they're looking at themselves a few stone lighter, and that's what they initially wanted to achieve. And going, number one, I don't see myself as that person. I can't identify with that person anyway.
Yeah.
And number two, it's that idea of, oh, and what now?
Yeah.
Should I lose more weight then to be happy?
Yeah. Or do I still have the same emotions?
Do I take so it just became like this information. That's just two kind of physical representations of it. It's always about the journey. It's always about the day-to-day small things, the chipping away that kind of bring you the real joy.
It's the growth inside, isn't it? It's that pride, that joy, you say, of that internal journey. The external can never ever replicate what you get internally from it. And everyone has their goals and where they want to get to. But I think once you start doing it, as you said, step by step, and you go along that journey, you find things in you that you never knew that were in you. Yeah. Like you and your journey, me and me, we found things that we never knew that was inside. Like the confidence I believe I have now, and that I never had that. But it was a journey of having to go through the things I've gone through to get to the other side, to realise that is in me. Yeah. You know, I think jumping those steps, you don't get to discover you. You don't get to discover what you're truly made of, what you can overcome, what you can't, what you need help with. That's the part of the journey. And I think the external is just the external. The internal makes the external whatever it is you want it to be.
Yeah.
So you can score 100 goals, but inside of you, if you not enjoy the journey and not right with yourself, those 100 goals they don't mean anything.
Well, you talked about the story about you scoring the hat-trick but getting annoyed about missing the fourth.
Yeah.
And in some ways in society this has been celebrated for years. Like and I don't want to come away from the fact that humility and hard work and striving for more are still great kind of independent traits on their own, but more so in the sense of like I had and you won't see it, but I had a tattoo written on me recently. I dreamt of days like this. I dreamt of days like this. If you'd have told me a few years ago, I'd be sat here with you doing this, mentally in the position I'm in, with the relationship I'm in, the work that I do, I'd have bitten your hand off, cried with joy. I would have been like I won the lottery, mate.
Yeah.
In fact, I reckon there's lottery winners would come into that kind of category here. Now, when you get winning the amount of money very quickly, how are you supposed to deal with it when it hasn't come about the hard work? I'm sure there's some relationship we can make there.
100%.
But I dreamt of days like this.
But would this day have been what you dreamt if you hadn't have gone through what you've gone through to get to where you are now?
No, it wouldn't at all. But that reminder on my arm there is to tell me that. Not to stop to go, I'm not going to keep wanting more and give up. But as a reminder of like in this moment right now, I fucking dreamt of days like this, man.
Yeah.
I dreamt of being in this position here with you. And that I think gratitude is the mother of all virtues, isn't it? Like, and that gives me an immense sense of gratitude to appreciate the shirts we have around us, the setup we're in, the conversation we're having, the company we keep. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And I think it weirdly internally that inspires me more to keep doing the right things that I'm doing, but in this present moment. I want today with you to be the best version of this we can do today.
Yeah, and that's that work. That work. There's a goal, but that work is today. You said the goal is in the future, but you're in the present right now. You do, and you've obviously implemented stuff from the beginning of your journey. And you've seen the rewards from it, and then you double down on that. The goal will come, and sometimes the goal you want isn't the goal you get.
No,
it's the journey that can take you to. You want a certain goal. The journey can always take you to different goals in better positions, better places. As long as you focus on that journey, focus on the work, focus on yourself, all of that external it will be what you want it to be. But it's very hard. It's hard when life is telling you that the goal is more important than the journey.
Yeah.
And with social media now, it's like, look at what I've got. But you don't actually see the process of what these people actually do to get it. And that's hopefully like explaining to people and trying to teach people how to enjoy the journey, enjoy the highs and lows, and enjoy the growth that you're going to get, the massive growth that you're going to get, the stories that you're actually going to be able to pass on to people to help them grow themselves, which is what we're doing here.
Setting the elevator back up.
Yeah, we've been there. We've done, like, we've gone through that. We've had to go. There wasn't when we were on the phone and I'm saying to you, Jim, and like, just take this away. Like, I can't. Like, it's, and you're like, I can't do that, Craig. You've got to do it yourself.
Yeah.
And that is, it's like you do the journey yourself. But then when you get to that end, that point, you have all this amazing knowledge. These things, like hard things you go through, but they harden you and they give you these amazing life experiences. You know, other people are suffering that you can give to them and say, look, this is a journey I went on. Like, follow your own path, but go this way. And this is what we're hoping to do with all the guests we get on, with the conversations we have. So it says, send that elevator down, bring people up with us.
I love that saying.
It's a great saying.
I'm going to put you on your toes now as well. And there's no right or wrong answer to this. Just before I ask the question as well, just going back to something you said there, you've got to do it for you. I said to you got to do it for yourself. That in anything any small thing I've achieved that has fulfilled me, given me some fulfillment personally, and external accolades as well, it has been something I've had to choose to do myself, not for someone else.
Yes.
And there was this really beautiful, I think it's like a bit like a meme or a quote somewhere I saw about, like, I'll go and find it in a second, but essentially it was saying kind of like the thing in you that you feel maybe a bit embarrassed about or a bit vulnerable about or a bit kind of weird about that you don't want the world to see. That's the really beautiful bit.
Yeah. That
kind of non-conformity to what you think society wants from you, whether it be a partner, football manager, business friend, and just an idea of something you put on yourself. Like, until you're going to do it for you and it inspires you and it makes you feel good, it's never gonna be this authentic, original version of what it was anyway. So, like, but football has so many measures and metrics given to you by someone else, to the point where you must have been confused as to what you wanted to achieve anyway.
Yeah.
I've got to go and do that thing because everyone tells me to do that thing.
I worry even more now because is football so rigid, and it's like they're just a carbon copy of each other. Where's the expression? Where's the joy of playing football? Like, we played football for joy and like the off the cuff and all the excitement you did for football, because it's a creative expression game. And I feel like now footballers they're all losing their identity. They're all becoming carbon copies of each other. And how now?
I need to find this picture because carry on that, because this is exactly what you're saying. Because
I feel that this, now they are losing their identity. We had a bit more say in their identity to an extent when we were playing with what we could do within the game. Now they have to be in a certain position at a certain time to play it back to a certain position. It's very rigid. It's very chess-like. Don't get me wrong. It is a different way of playing football, and obviously everything has to evolve. But I just feel like footballers now are losing more of their identity, their creative ability of why you actually started playing football.
That creativity thing is spot on. Are we creating environments for creativity to be celebrated and flourished?
Probably not.
I don't think so.
I
found it. The pieces of you that you keep hidden in order to be likable are some of the most magical and magnetic parts. I wish someone had told me that. I know.
Yeah.
You're now showing your magnetic parts.
Yeah.
You'd have thought you would be a weirdo at football, being the guy you are now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
15 years ago, whatever, primary, when you're in your career, like, I don't know, think about when you're 20s, whatever, like 10 years ago, would you ever have even allowed them to show in the way they do now?
No, not really. There was probably little bits that I did, but I feel a real freedom in myself now. A real I feel like I can be me. There's still bits I'm working on, and there'll always be, but I feel like I can be me more now, and I'm trying to get on social media more, which I used to hate. Like I didn't really want people to see me and in any light, and then now it's like I'm just pushing myself to be out there. Amber's being brilliant. She's not giving me any chance, so I go for 5 minutes peace and quiet, and she's jumping with a camera in my front of my face, asking what I'm doing. So I think, do you know what it is? It's relief. It's relief that I can actually really start to embrace who I am and not actually worry like what people are thinking and all the weird things I like to get up to. It's just a nice relief. It's just like I go, I can just be me, and I think that's really difficult for a lot of people. And again, I don't know in many industries if that's embraced.
Coming back to where we were just a moment ago, I was kind of thinking about I dreamt of days like this. So for you, where you are today, comparatively to where you were a couple of years ago, what feelings, what emotions, what celebrations, what small victories, what delights, however you want to look at it, what things can you, because I know right now you are a happier man, a more content man than who I met.
Yeah.
Other than kind of some of the obvious things, right? What are you celebrating? What are you proud of? What are you feeling? What are you feeling in that journey? What experiences in however big and however small? What moments of wow, like I'm here. Have you felt or had, particularly recently, because I've seen you flourish recently?
I think going through it, do you know what, like, a win for me was just being alive every day. That was to start with, because like every day, it was my head was just telling me I was dying every day. Like, I don't know why it was there, what was coming from. I always used to say it to Amber, I don't know where it's not. These aren't my thoughts.
Yeah.
Every day, 24 hours, like horrible, continuous thoughts, and that was like my like thing to celebrate every day was getting through that day. But I was always trying to figure out what was going on. So that was a massive like part of that. But you know what? It gave me like I realised how strong I am, how mentally strong. Like, I've been through loads, through football, highs and lows. Like manager shouting you, 50, 60,000 people shouting at you. But when your own brain's telling you you're dying, and you've got to get through that every day with your kids and trying to sort out work. Going through that. So when I started, COVID happened. Came out of football, out of the professional game. First time they ever brought a salary cap in. So I kind of came out of the professional game, went into the non-league game. My house got flooded and destroyed. So I literally lost everything downstairs, and then obviously lost my direction in life. And then all this started then kicking off as well. So I say, to get through that, I realised how strong I am mentally, and like I know that I can overcome anything. So that kind of gave me a real like just belief in myself. There's still things I know I've got to work on, little bits and pieces that will push me to the next level. But I was grateful for the experience, because I know how strong I am and what I can come through, what I can teach my kids, what I can help other people with. That was really, really important. Then I think you said that probably the little wins and the I'm trying to think what else really. It's just being alive day to day.
It's a huge one.
Yeah,
it's a huge one.
I think when you get to that point, it's like they say like everything is an amazing experience. Is joyful. Like I used to go when I was having a real bad time. I'd go and stand in the garden in the rain in bare feet to ground, like my no top on, just stand there and ground, because it just that brought me peace, and that was something that really kept me on this planet. My family were amazing. Amber was just, she grounded me. She was my rock. She just kept the world spinning on like around me, and just let me do just overcome what I was overcoming. She could see it was going on. She could see it was how it was affecting me. She couldn't do anything about it. It was my journey to process, but she gave me the space. So I'm so grateful for her, because she gave me that space to overcome this. There was never a point of sort yourself out, or like, what are you doing? Like, you got to get this, you got to pull yourself together. She just gave me the space, which I think allowed me to dig deep into the emotions of what was going on, and fight what I was going through to get through. And then eventually, I think one of the biggest things for me was just surrender. I just surrendered. I think it was. I think I tried to figure out so much in that period of time that I just surrendered into it, and allowed, however, like, the day was going to go, I just allowed it to go, and I tried to kind of just enjoy the ride, and like what I was trying to be as present as I could. I tried to surrender to the thoughts in my head, the feelings I have in my body, and just to surrender into that process, and try to look at all the great things that were going on around me. And eventually, day by day, the grounding, the kind of the surrendering into it, it slowly started to bring me back. And I started to come, because I surrendered to that voice. The voice then didn't have any power over me, and it started to disappear and get less and less and less. And then eventually it stopped. And then obviously then I started to realise from that how strong I was. And that started building the confidence in how you see me today.
So it's really it's really lovely to hear you say that. Kind of in that surrender, and then allowing serenity to come through. Like, has that? I don't know, because I felt a little bit like this in what I mentioned earlier. Has that, having had a continuous period of time whereby you felt like you weren't wasting time, it's all part of the journey. It's all led to us to being the people we are today. So it's not a waste of time, but it can feel like there's been a loss of years in some cases for myself, whereby I didn't have this feeling of preciousness towards life now, that I feel like I'm making up for lost time a little bit with it now. And it's made me even more emotional than I normally am.
Yeah.
Like, I've been crying a lot recently, and not even in sad ways, just in ways where I'm like, wow, like, this is so beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, you just get so caught up, don't we? So caught up in things that don't really matter. And and we get so, like, as you said, everyone does want goals. You want to achieve stuff and things like that. But sometimes we just get caught up in that, and rather than saying enjoying the beauty of what's around, enjoying the beauty of yourself, and being your, I found more is like being your best friend, being your biggest cheerleader, like saying you're doing well.
Yeah.
Like, just like saying that you're good enough and you're doing good, and like that voice was always like, it's not enough, you've got to do more. Like, that was rubbish, you're going to fail. What are people thinking of you? Why are you doing it like that? And then like the voice now is turning, it's like, you're doing great, like, keep going.
So I had this conversation with myself the other day. Like, I've experienced, mine was more voices than thoughts, like a continuous chatter of essentially always telling me I wasn't good enough, and I was an imposter, and this was, we get all the normal stuff. Everyone experiences that. I think to a certain degree. Perhaps mine was more than most. And I thought to myself, like, would I be friends with myself? Would I be friends with myself? Like, and often, like, I'm so worried about the opinion of other people, and I try and be as nice as I can to everyone I come into contact with, everyone. And I'd be friends with that guy because like my intentions are pure, they're good. Like, I want to make people happy. I don't do that. I don't do that for me. And I'm like, if I met that version of me in my head, talking to me how it talks to me and saying the things it says about me, would I be its friend?
Yeah.
No way.
No. Yeah.
Not
It's
at
mad,
all. I'd
isn't
hate
it?
that guy.
It's mad.
He's horrible.
Yeah. It's mad, isn't it?
So I thought, like, I could try and be a bit more my own friend.
Yeah.
I could try that. The other thing someone said to me recently that I don't think they realised how powerful it was. But again, now I'm present. Now I'm noticing things more.
Yeah.
They I think I rang you and told you about this at the time. I'm gonna tell the wider audience. Someone said to me, "Live a little." They said, "You need to live a little," and I've always taken that in such a negative way. Live a little is kind of mostly that kind of resonates with me. Is kind of like I wouldn't want to go out when I was younger because I already knew that like drinking wasn't good for me because I would make more mistakes than most. I'm like, I'm not coming out tonight. And they'd be like, oh, can't mate, live a little. Like you're so boring, right? That kind of that's where like that saying stems from for me. Loads of other situations whereby live a little had made me feel
Negative
boring or
connotations.
negative, negative connotations, and I just received it totally and I think that the context of how they said it was different, and it was more so don't forget to live a little, and don't forget that amongst the busyness and the hard work and the for me it's like client onto the pod, back to after this, clients and feed into their joy and to be a part of their joy, and but don't you forget to live a little. So I went, okay, I'm going to live a little today. And I got in the car, and whereas I'd normally, that's my time to kind of pick up on some phone calls and different things like that, and to be busy in between being busy, a song came on the radio. And I will sing it a little bit because I ain't got a voice, but I like the song. It was my fingertips are holding on to the cracks in Kate Nash. Fucking anthem, by the way.
Yeah.
That can be at my funeral. In fact, that and David Gay, Please Forgive Me. I'll let you know of any others. Anyway, so that song came on and it was sunny and I just thought, I'm going to live a little. I'm going to have 3 minutes, just started. I'm going to have 3 minutes of windows down singing this song and just enjoying it for me.
Yeah.
I'm going to live a little. And I didn't make the phone call. I didn't sit there and send the email or whatever else. I just sang and drove in the sunshine for 3 minutes. And there was my delight.
Yeah.
There was my living a little. There was a moment of joy in my day that kind of just gave me something for me. And then I got back to it. Then I carried on doing it. But I was better at the things I did for doing it.
So why don't you think people let themselves live a little? What do you think stops them? Or like what was stopping you?
What stops you? I'm going to throw hard questions back at you. We got like... What?
Striving.
Wanting more.
Yeah. But just, I think over obsessed, worried that like, if I stop doing what I'm doing, I won't achieve what I'm going to achieve. Just blocking out everything else. Like not, I've a lot from my whole career. Unfortunately, my family has suffered a lot because it's always been like me and just striving to what I wanted to achieve. So like live a little, go out for dinner or go on holiday or going out with the kids and stuff like that. It all took a back seat because I was just striving for these goals, and the rest, everything else just took a back seat. And I feel like my family and me missed out on so much that if I'd let myself live a little, I think I would have been more successful. Because there's only so much you can Rubik's Cube. There's only so much foam rolling you can do. There's only so much gym you can do. There's only so much finishing sessions you can do. Like there's only so much thinking about these things you can do. And if I'd have just gone, I'm good. I'm good. I've done enough, and go and live a little, and then come back. And then when it's time to go at it. And when it's time to step away and live, do that. I think I'd have been more successful.
How interesting that we could we're not dispelling the rumor or the fact that the acquisition of anything comes about hard work. Like hard work is the foundation of all that we do. But there has to be in for that hard work to be
worth it. It's got
yeah.
Like what's the point of me trying to achieve all these things and my family suffer on the back end of it?
Yeah.
Like, and they said that I've missed parts of my kids' childhood and taken them on holidays and stuff like that for the acquisition of scoring more goals. And yes, I want to strive to be the best, but I also want to have a family that I enjoy doing things with because they're just as amazing experiences or more beautiful experiences than me scoring loads of goals.
I think that's really well said. Yeah, I really, when I start not stunned to silence, when I start sitting here quietly, you know that I'm really, it's really meant something to me or it's hit me. As you say that then, so let's talk about someone else who's in that situation now that might be listening, right? And how do we combat that? Because the overthink is going to be there, that the pressure, the demand, that feeling of both from a personal and an external perspective, the need to achieve X today. Like, what would you give now? Not for the loss of time with your family and things like that, but for that feeling of like standing in the tunnel again and that anticipation for the game. The ball boy kind of grabbing your hand, like maybe some fireworks going off as you walked out, hearing people sing. Like that, the smell of the changing room, the cliche things people say, the I've given up football this season. Can you tell I'm missing some parts? Do you know that? Although I wasn't again, there was no fireworks and thousands of people for me, but like there was lots of beauty in the small details, and in the for me it was always like when I arrived at the football club, like the hellos to the usual faces. The person who might be on reception or the volunteers at the football clubs that are often were on it. It was the small details that I miss now that I missed out on then.
Yeah.
I didn't realise that they mattered.
Yeah.
The bigger picture for me was like when the chance comes, I got to score today.
Yeah.
I missed out on so much.
Yeah.
Like a kid's smiling face wanting to say hello to you.
Yeah.
Like or a joke between teammates or like a story being told. Even like, I would sit there for 15 minutes before a game listening to a manager, not listening to a word he said. I never really listened to a word he said.
Yeah.
If it wasn't directly at me about my job, my role, or to me, I didn't give a fuck what else was going on. I never really listened.
Yeah. Just in your head, and I get that. I get that. There's
a saying something about it's kind of what you're missing is in the silence that you're avoiding, or something like that I need to listen to.
Yeah. No, I get it. It all interlinks with the book of was it Desires? Delights. It's the little delights. Those things. And when you speak to a lot of players, what do they miss? The banter in the dressing room, all the stuff that goes around it. They don't miss the football as much. They miss the stuff around it. And it's trying to remember those little things. And I think for me, it's probably, as I said, like you, I was so focused on, probably over focused on what I was going to do that day, trying to score goals, trying to not enjoying the little bits. Like it was a privilege to play in front of some of the stadiums, meet the people I got to meet. But again, I was so robotic of like, oh yeah, because I wanted to get straight to where I wanted to get on that pitch and do my job. I missed so much, and I think towards the end, when my career, I probably picked up a little bit more and slowed down a little bit and noticed those things more. But yeah, it's the little delights. It's finding balance. It's finding that balance of knowing you've done enough within training, you've done enough shots, you've done enough in the gym, being comfortable with having done enough, letting yourself live on the other side of it. So I think you find the balance of that, which I know a lot of the best players I've played with have that balance. They know when they've done enough. Then they're not striving to keep doing and doing and doing. And I think that striving to keep doing and doing was trying to prove something to myself, but trying to prove something to everyone else. Maybe it should have just been what's good for me. what do I feel happy with? That's enough. Okay, move in, go inside, enjoy the rest of your life, because football's just that small part, a small part of it. There's so much bigger stuff on the outside.
So just to come back again, in true Jim fashion, I kind of asked the question and answered it myself.
I just let you go off.
Yeah. My brain is such an interesting one. I don't ever want it to appear rude, and maybe even the listener sometimes thinks, "Fucking hell." There's like a sheer panic in my mind that I'm gonna forget, because I'm.
I just love it. You ask the question, then you just go off, and then it's just a nice, long, eloquent answer that you just go off into. So I just sit there and listen to you.
For the value of the listener, like, this is our relationship, and I'm aware of my pitfalls.
Yeah.
I'm aware that I'm a bit emotionally dysregulated and feminine, and also very, very, very bad at not listening, because I listen, but sometimes
It's your excitement.
I'm excited.
It's your excitement.
I'm excited, and then it's very much an ADHD thing to panic about forgetting what you're going to say, so just say it all quickly anyway.
Yeah.
So if anyone notices that, it's natural. I hope you enjoy our relationship and watching it unfold. And Craig has full license, I'm saying this live, to tell me to shut the fuck up when I need to. Or to hold a hand of pause. I'm answering now. So, and not to kind of lower the mood, but I'm going to ask that question again, and I'm going to ask it with something that's kind of, we've both thought about a lot over the summer. Was we all were aware of the Diego Jota situation and the loss of him so quickly after such personal and professional success, the top of his game in life and in sport, if you will, and that really reminded me of the preciousness of life more than anything, and things like that happen every day. But when it's so public as well, it gets you talking, and hopefully the light you can shine off the back of a really dark situation is kind of the lessons and the learnings and the love you can gain from it. And I asked you a moment ago about what would you give to go back and experience all those small things again, and those feelings, or some things that have happened that you may have missed out on because your mind was blocking you. There's a question in there somewhere.
I know what you're asking. Do you know what it is? I think sometimes you come blasé to life. Like, life just is happening, and we just expect it to just keep going and rolling over, and you expect to go to bed and wake up the next morning, and then it goes again, and it becomes, it's not mundane, but it's like you expect it. It's an expectation that you're going to live, and things are just going to keep ticking over. And I think we lose sight of, you said, how beautiful and delightful life is. Every single small thing. We are not guaranteed the next second in life. Like, anything can happen. It is that is the most beautiful thing about life, because it's so uncertain. But it's embracing that mundane. It's embracing all those little things, trying to just be, as you said, as present as possible. We get caught in the past of what was, and we get caught in the future of what could be, and we miss the most enjoyable, most transformational bit, which is being in the present. And yeah, a lot of my career, and to be fair, a lot of my life has been worried about what has been and how it's looked, and worried about what the future is going to be, and rather sitting in the present and enjoying it as it unfolds. Yeah, I have expectations. Everyone has expectations how their life is meant to go and what they want to achieve and stuff like that. But being in the present moment, you get to notice all these amazing things. You get to see the journey unfold, and which we were talking about. The journey is the exciting bit. The goal is, and for me, I've achieved things in my career, and you get it. You lift the trophy, and you go, right, that's it. I've done all that. On to the next. But and you forget all of that journey. I have amnesia. I speak to people about this. Like in football, I have amnesia. I forgot games. I forgot training sessions. I forgot moments throughout my whole career because I wasn't present. I was always on to the next. Oh, what happened in the past that didn't really go well? Okay, what's going to happen in the future? I was never present, and I think that's what we all kind of fall into the pitfall of. We're not present. We're not experiencing life. We're negotiating around the future and what could be, rather than being in the present and what is. And I think that's something hopefully people listening can take, is be as present as you possibly can. Try not to miss these things, because we are not guaranteed the next day. Our loved ones are not guaranteed the next day. So be present in every situation, good or bad. Just be present with it, and that's the best advice I can give. And I'm trying to do that. I still have the looking in the past, and I still look to the future, but I'm trying to be more and more present. And as you said, all the beautiful things you notice being more in the present, it feels so much better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Presence. I surrounded, unbeknown to us, we didn't necessarily come into this episode thinking we'd be. Everything we're saying today is centered around that that idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything we're saying is centered around. I remember I listened to Johnny Wilkinson once talk about something about this, and he explains, after kind of one of the greatest achievements ever in like kind of British sport, like kicking that drop goal against Australia. What do you do after that? I remember listening to it. It might have been on the podcast with Jake Humphrey. He talks about how he dealt with that. And initially it was really hard when all of your dreams have come true, everything you've ever worked for has come true. What the fuck is next?
Yeah.
And he goes on to, it's obviously a longer version of this story to get to this point, but he essentially realizes in his mind at that moment, he says, I moved my body to achieve an action. In that said moment, moving my body to achieve that action came with huge success and accolades and validation and pandemonium. He said, when I wash the dishes, I'm moving my body to achieve an action. So why not do that to the best of my ability? He talks about kind of how you do anything is how you do everything.
Yeah.
And I always think a lot of these incredible conversations come with people who have achieved the very definition of X, of achievement pinnacle in their thing, and it's dealing with that is fucking hard.
They all say the same thing though, don't they? They all say they get there and it's over with, and then it's like, what next? And
what next? And his coping mechanism is how I do anything now is how I do everything. So if I'm going to move my body to achieve an outcome, best believe I'm doing that to the best of my ability.
Yeah.
That's presence.
Yeah. That is
listen, I'm not saying you're going to stay in front of the dishes every day and I'm going to fucking... Do people do the dishes anymore? I don't think they do really very much.
I make the kids do it sometimes.
Yeah, it's a mundane task. Stand in front of a mundane task and go, I'm going to be the best at this mundane task right now. But best believe that I'm going to do this to the best of my ability. I mean, that's hard.
Yeah.
That's a hard thing to say you're going to do every single day. But I think often, if you can remind yourself of these in moments where you are lacking motivation or are feeling really low or struggling about something, is whether this is the best thing I'll ever do or whether this is the most mundane thing I ever do, I'm just going to do it to the best of my ability. I'm going to move my body to achieve an action, or I'm going to respond in a way that represents me in the best way.
I'm going to be present, and I'm going to know. Present. I'm going to look at that dish, and I'm going to appreciate cleaning that dish and putting it away. From mowing the lawn, I'm going to not appreciate going across this grass. It's that appreciation in that moment of what you're doing, no matter how mundane. I think because especially when you're trying to achieve stuff, the mundane stuff gets you to the achievements, and the better you do those mundane things, the closer you get to your achievements. And they say it's being present in that mundane thing that gets you further up.
So in two ways, not only does it help you acquire the things you wish to acquire, but it also allows you to live more freely in that moment or in that and experience that things in a way that is far more beautiful than the amnesia that follows just going from from A to B, and that isn't just limited to kind of physical tasks. Interactions with human beings are another one. Like, all I am in this moment right now is how I'm conversing with you.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to do that with fun and kindness and presence. But there's a choice that I'm making in this moment.
Yeah.
And it's weird because I have cameras on me and a microphone in front of me and lights above my head and people around me. So therefore I'm really in it.
Yeah. But once you're present, that all goes.
It does. It completely does.
Yeah.
I'm here with you.
Yeah.
But it takes all of that for me to be here with you.
Yeah.
Also for me, and this is how I work, is that I am, if it's serving someone else, I will pour more of me into it. If it's just serving me, perhaps I don't. But it's probably even more important to do the things that serve me just as much as well.
Because if you can't serve you, you can't serve anyone else to the best of your ability.
But like right now, I'm really here.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's good work, isn't it?
I love it. I do.
Yeah, I know.
But I'm kind of telling myself right now.
Yeah.
Can I sit down on a chair with you in a front room in this situation without all the lights, without the cameras and the microphones, and without the need for it to serve someone else, and just go,
just have a conversation. Right, yeah.
Let's do that without all that.
Yeah.
Really, because that's like that's all we are in life, is what's right in front of us.
Yeah. 100%.
And you have a choice. Choose to be
present.
Say to fuck off. And you'd be sad, the episode would be rubbish. But
it might make it a good episode.
It could, yeah. Okay. We've kind of got our, unbeknown to us, we put a message across there that I think means a lot to us.
Weaved away.
Yeah, weaved away, and kind of there's a metaphoric, non-linear progress graph we can put in here that we've wiggled around and found our way. But the overall message is that of we've both found presence this summer in our work and in our personal life, and it's brought us real joy.
Yeah. And
it feels like a superpower to us. And it feels like Amber is currently writing down something to do with presence to be the episode title. Because we don't plan these things, do we?
No.
We just, genuinely, people wouldn't believe it. We just sit here and we go, you're right.
Just have a conversation as friends. And
the first time we talked about what we were going to talk about was 5 minutes before we started recording.
Yeah.
We were like, right, should talk about you, a bit about me, what's been going on, and we'll go from there. And this is really, this is happening in real time for us as well.
Yeah, it flows. I think it's just enjoying each other's company, conversation, talking about it, talking our experiences and what we've been through.
Yeah.
And hopefully they're relatable and how we hope to help people with theirs.
I think both our higher purpose, the thing that we kind of hold. Like I said, this isn't for financial gain.
No.
This is an expensive hobby for us at the minute. Like
Yeah.
our higher purpose is the fact that this may serve others.
Yeah.
And the beautiful byproduct is that it served us today.
I think looking at where we are now and where we were 2 years ago, it's beautiful. And it's exciting to talk like this and talk about this and talk about these subjects, because we did talk about these, and this is where it got to. We know how this can help, and we want everyone to strive and move forward and find their best possible version of themselves. And
in many ways, by the way, which kind of brings us on to this. We have a new. Last season we asked our guests as the last question, like what. The question was like, what piece of advice, your best quote or piece of advice you've ever been given to give to the next person, and we read it out like that, which I loved. But this is something a bit different now. We want to open people's minds. So the question we've agreed on for the end of each episode this season, season sounds very American, this series, is one we're going to ask kind of each other as well to get, and it's not necessarily to pass on to the next guest this time. This is purely just to think about things slightly differently. Doesn't matter if it's football or not, but outside of your professional career, what's your kind of your proudest achievement?
That is deep, isn't it? It's so much you could go into. I think one was overcoming the situations I was in the last 2 years. I think the growth I've had from that has been astronomical. I'm a completely different person, like, and I feel content in myself. I think my family, just watching my family grow, my kids, I think Amber, just watching them and being through what I've been through, being able to help guide them, just watch them grow, watch them have their little challenges and give them little information, see how they deal with it, see how they overcome it. And the same with Amber, was a rock for me, but she has her challenges and she's growing and going in her direction. So I just think I'm just very proud of how they're all growing and they're finding their feet, and I think those are the two most important things.
I'm going to hear that and agree with that and love that, and I knew that would be your answer.
Yeah.
I want you to be a bit more selfish with it. I want it to be more personal to you. I want it to be, because as I was asking that question, I knew anyone with a family would say my children, being the father to my children, and that is an amazing answer.
Yeah.
But again, I think it's still in the serving of others. I want it to be more about
me just me personally.
Yeah. Have a think.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you mine because I have an answer for mine.
Okay.
And mine's really smack in the face obvious to me. If I didn't have this one, it would be very hard for me to achieve. And I don't have children yet.
Yeah.
Giving up alcohol and cocaine, for me, is probably the greatest achievement in my life. Way even beyond my professional sense. And initially I did that for someone else.
Yeah.
And listen, by doing it, I think I'm nearly coming up to 2 years soon. Like, by giving those things up, I was able to show up for everyone else. For Holly, for Santino, for my friends, for my family. I'm a better son. I'm a better step parent, or I'm a better partner. I'm a better personal trainer. I'm a better friend. I'm a better man. I'm a better person in society. So I did initially do it to serve others. But my God, it serves me.
Yeah.
I am so much... I was going to say, well, I want for a better word, but no, I am just better.
Yeah.
I'm a better version of myself. I'm the person I want to be. Daily.
Yeah.
Daily, and not without mistakes and flaws, but my approach to those things is now so much better as a result of the alcohol and cocaine not being in my life.
Yeah.
So easy, really easy answer for me, that.
It's
really easy answer for me.
I'm stumped, honestly.
We can come back to that.
The two I give you, I need to, do you know what it probably is? I need to do more self-reflection, because there's probably things I've done that I probably just seem as just...
I think being a father is the greatest joy in life. I think it is, by the way. I want to...
No, but I think you're right. I think, like, selfishly, I can't think of one off the top of my head, and I think that, and it's great because it's for me. Amber says this to me sometimes, and when I wasn't going so well, she's like, "Are you happy with yourself?" And you sit there and you think, "Am I happy with myself?" And then you can't fake it. Like, you know in your head, and this is a really good thing for me because it's like self-reflection of, like, what am I proud of individually? I say my kids and my family and that are amazing, but, like, so I need to go away and sit.
Yeah, outside of what you're known for, outside of football, and I want to be really firm with this.
Yeah,
being the father that you are, the partner you are, as well as is the most beautiful thing you've achieved.
Yeah,
but it's. I want it to be something that really you did for you.
Yeah,
served you. I want you to be selfish with it.
Yeah, no, I'm excited by that because, again, it's like I think I've blocked a lot off. In my life.
And selflessness is something you and I practice daily. Weirdly, that I've always had this interpretation: there is no truly selfless act, because, again, serving others helps serve me. But, like, and even in the process of my answer, which was easy to answer, it started for someone else. Yeah, but it ended up being about me. Yeah, and realizing that's okay. Yeah, was a really beautiful thing. Yeah. So this is a good question, that, and I like the fact that you're going to have to come back to it. And I think, to end, so people I hope people come back wanting more, but for something for them to think about in the meantime, just based on what we said, is what small delight can you find today? What moment of peace or joy or happiness or stillness or just reflection or smile, whatever, what delight can you find today? And by all means, share them with us, and let us know, small or big.
We love it. We love it. We love getting the messages and hearing all these things from you guys. So yeah, ponder on that and let us know what you think.